Good morning. Welcome to Bad Hotel Coffee Chat for Thursday at the 2014 Grey Cup. My name is Drew Edwards from the Hamilton Spectator. This is my Bad Hotel Coffee, which is just as bad as it was yesterday. It is still raining in Vancouver, and it's going to rain. It rained last night. It's going to rain all day today, and that rain drove me inside yesterday, where I did 42 minutes on the treadmill, which is usually around 7K for me. I actually did closer to 44 just to give myself a little buffer. So I am more or less on pace for my marathon. Well, I am on pace for my marathon during the Grey Cup, which is cool. Went out for a good dinner last night to a place called Chewy's, which is a sort of seafood place, and had oysters and a seafood kettle, which had like mussels and scallops and all that stuff. And it was really good. It was delicious. Certainly the best meal I've had here so far in Vancouver. Let's get to the questions. Thanks for sending them along. Make sure you email me or send them in the blog comments. John Skinner wants to know whether any of the Grey Cup events are being televised. I don't believe so. At one point, TSN did televise the awards show, but I don't think they do that anymore. They often put a little highlights package. CFL.ca has been streaming things live on their website, including yesterday's coaches press conference. So that's often a place to go if you're looking for live events from the CFL. But generally speaking, TSN, they don't even broadcast the parade or anything like that. It's just going to be the pregame show and the game itself. Hammer Girl wanted to know about Austin's Coach of the Year prospects. Generally speaking, the Coach of the Year is the coach who wins the Grey Cup, and that's the way it's been most of the time since I've covered the league. And I think, obviously, if Calgary wins on Sunday, John Hufnagel having gone 15-3 and winning the Grey Cup, I think he's probably the Coach of the Year. The thing about Austin's Coach of the Year chances is that Hamilton was expected to be a contender. They were expected, having been to the Grey Cup last year, they were expected to dominate the East and make it back to the Grey Cup. And so you don't necessarily get any bonus style points for doing what you're expected to do. The only other coach that often gets recognized, and I think Tom Higgins is going to get a nomination for this very reason, is if you turn a franchise around. So, in his case, they were 1-7 and he brought them all the way back. And I know it's almost like the Hamilton story, but again, the expectations in Hamilton were much higher than they were in Montreal. So, if he wins the Grey Cup, however, I think Austin has a pretty good shot. Again, because if you win it, that changes the narrative considerably. And I think if they beat Calgary, then you've gone from 1-6 to winning the Grey Cup, and that probably gets you consideration. Plus, I'm not sure you can give Hufnagel Coach of the Year if you take a 15-3 Cup team to the Grey Cup and don't win it. And Josh asked me about whether other reporters here at the Grey Cup ask for my advice or guidance or that sort of thing, and the answer to that is yes, they do. They come and pick my brain because they feel I know a little bit more about the Ticats, and I'm generally fairly willing to share my information, not all of it necessarily, but in the case of a guy like Scott Mitchell from the Calgary Sun, he knows a lot about the Stampeders, and I need to know that, right? I don't cover them on a regular basis. I don't really follow them as closely as maybe I should during the regular season, and so I need to get up to speed on what the dynamics are and what I know some of that, but I need to know some of the intricacies. So and he needs the same information from me. So there's an exchange of information there, and then other reporters, television guys, that sort of thing, are looking to pick up some of the little nuances as well. And, like when a guy like Chris Cuthbert stands next to you in the sidelines and you start talking during practice, as you did yesterday, and you start talking football with him and he's asking you questions about this, that, and the other thing, and listen, Chris Cuthbert knows a lot about the CFL and a ton about the Ticats, but again, he's not there every day. So, you share your information, and he shares information with you, and that's helpful on both sides. So often it's an exchange of information, and it's especially, I'm more inclined to do it especially with guys I already know, obviously. So, and look, more coverage is good, right? Fans want to know stuff, and so there are certain things I keep to myself for stories that I want to do, but most of the time, if you can share and help, I think you should. It's a pretty good camaraderie amongst reporters that cover the CFL. All right. that's it for today. Make sure you keep sending the questions via email or on the blog. Closed practices today, so I won't be at practice, so I won't have any updates. Uncle Milty arrives today, so we'll get him involved in doing some videos and obviously tons of coverage and stuff, so that's cool. And things are really starting to crank up now, so the next couple of days are going to be pretty busy, and then it'll be game time. So, yeah. Make sure you keep checking back on the scratching post and reading the spec. And yeah, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks.